Hi guys, Saki with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 3v3 match on the map The Hills of Ice. I'm starting in the bottom right position, playing as the Allies. So this map is quite an unusual map. For those of you who don't know, there's lots of civs in the middle of the map, and they come and attack the teams at the bottom and the top of the map as well. And what happens is each team has a Soviet player. Our Soviet players playing in the middle, and they build dogs and they just eat the civilians. So it's sort of like the Soviet player's job to do that, and if they don't do it, then basically the team dies because the civilians come to the base and they do major damage, like blowing up power plants or refineries, things like that. So you're always sort of like relying on other members of your team in these types of games. I'm just killing some of those infantry. Now, from my position, the important thing to do is to take control of this like passage. You can just see me killing some infantry there. And the land along this passage is the only land which doesn't have any civilians, that connects the top and the bottom of the map. So it's really important that I don't let like things through there early on, because it could like get things through, go scouting, stuff like that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be building a ore refinery at the moment, getting a second ore refinery, which is going to strengthen my economy, which is obviously really important. And I'm going to need to build some ore trucks as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread my ore trucks out a little bit, so they're not all collecting from the same spot, and hopefully allow my ore to last for a little bit longer. And you can see there's a little dog there coming to my side of the map. I'm just thinking, yeah, as long as he doesn't go block my ore trucks or anything. Now, what I tend to do on this map is I tend to put these pillboxes in place, because what sometimes teams can do is they can go for an early tank attack. And there's 4 like tiles that I can block. And what that means is if I block those tiles, if they send light tanks down, you can see a light tank actually there squashing my infantry. But if they try and send that light tank down, it's going to have be in a bit of trouble. Because it's not going to be able to get through those line of pillboxes. And now I can really start focusing on building a navy and not have to worry too much about building tanks. So I'm just getting my second naval yard out after math units are switched on, so it will allow me to have a decent building speed. I've just got a tank there just in case, but yeah, we can see that infantry going down to the bottom of the map. He's going to try and see if there's a path through. I have a feeling he might have built quite a few light tanks possibly, but now he's going to see those pillboxes. I might just build like a turret or 2 behind just in case, because it does look like he is quite eager, maybe to initiate an attack or something. So I just don't want to overinvest. I need to make sure I don't overinvest too much in my base. Otherwise, what I'm going to find out is I'm not going to have enough naval units to go on the attack. So I do have to be careful here. But I still want to get things like radar dome. I want to get a tech centre eventually, because tech centres allow you to have a satellite and also build gap generators. So yeah, I just need to be a bit careful and getting a lot of those destroyers built early on, because they're the most effective thing right at the start. If you have like cruisers, sometimes people try and get cruisers out really early, but they take a long time to build, and they're not really that effective if you've only got like 1 or 2. It's when you start to get them in good numbers, and you can see those infantry there, and we can see some orange tanks there. Also purple's got some tanks as well, so we're just doing some damage there. And you can see him pulling back now because he knows he's going to lose those tank units. I'm also going to build another turret just behind that wall, just in case. And now we're having a bit of a look around, but it looks like Orange may not have built a navy. So we'll have to see. We'll go up to the top of the map and just see if he's got any units further up. If he's decided not to go for a navy, I think that's a little bit of a big mistake. So we'll have a look up here and just see if there's any of those naval yards, but I can't see any at the time being. And I'm just going to build some tanks, because I think must be thinking about a tank attack instead. Because we've been invested in units while he's been invested in
New construction options.
Tanks probably, so we're going to have to be careful. I'm just so glad I've got that wall of pillboxes and a couple of turrets behind them further down the map, so if he does go on the attack, I should be okay, fingers crossed. Having that water area though is going to give me quite a big advantage though, because I'm going to be able to reach buildings if once I get cruisers and satellite, which are going to be able to reach that middle team. And you can see where our teams, I've got some visibility up there, so someone has built a airfield, so they are getting spy planes.
New construction options.
And yeah, I'm just going to build some cruisers and also an MCV as well. I'm just bringing some of my destroyers back down just so I can do a bit of damage to Orange's base, possibly.
Unable to comply.
And just also building some more defences around my base, but yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. Now, what I'm always cautious of is, on this map, it lends itself to different tactics. Sometimes you can have people using Tanyas, and that's the big thing. And now you can see the attack coming in from Orange, and they've got like a big force there of tanks, and I managed to break through, but what I'll do is I'll put tanks in there just to block it again. And you can see them trying to fight it out. I've got another pillbox there. As soon as I build pillboxes, I'm just going to put them to replace ones that have been destroyed. And you can see the tracking is terrible. So he's having real trouble getting his tanks down there properly, and he's just getting destroyed by those base defences. And that's exactly how you defend against like a sort of a tank attack on this map. Once you got that wall in, it becomes very, very hard for the other team. And now Orange has lost a lot of units, and he's going to be pulling back. We can see that. But what we can see on our radar dome is we can see Purple making some movement of tanks down the map, and we're going to have to see where Purple's coming. I'm just signalling to all of our teammates that Purple's on the way, but it depends. Is he coming from our base, or is he going for the middle base where Red is? We'll have to wait and find out. I have been building some tanks, and it looks like he's heading towards my base, and this could be big trouble because I'm not really set up for a tank attack on my base. And we can see he's pulling back there. He's noticed that there's cruisers there, and those cruisers doing quite a bit of damage and helping my tanks out. But we can see now Purple is going through the ore field, and that's going to be pretty bad for me. I'm going to need to build as many tanks as I can and try and build some base defences on this ore field. We can see the heavy tank numbers at the moment. They are huge compared to my forces, because I've been focused on Navy at this point, and it looks like he's going to get my tech centre, but I've got bigger things to worry about at the moment. And we're going to try and take out those tanks. And now he's going for my construction yard. Now the construction yard, I'm not too worried about that, because at least I do have another MCV, so even if it did go down, I'd be able to build that. We've also got our ore refinery, which has managed to do okay. And you can see Orange coming in for a second round of attacks. He saw that Purple's attacking me, but it hasn't gone well for him. And my Navy that have all got back to my base have made short work of that. Now, I know some of you might say, oh, build another tech centre, but it's very early in the game, and having building a tech centre, I wouldn't have had any tanks to defend, so you could have just destroyed my base if I'd wanted to build that second tech centre. So not always the best thing. But I've got a couple of turrets now. We can see that Cyan's got his tanks in an annoying place. I'm just going to sell those turrets so they're not blocking the entrance to the ore field, but you can see Cyan there. My ore trucks can't get through, so they're going to do mega long distance mining otherwise, going right round the outside, but he saw my message. And now he's moved his tanks, my ore trucks will be able to resume with normal mining. And now I have to think about what I can do now, because I've got control of the water, so what I'm going to need to do is push my advantage up at the top. We can see a barracks there going down really easily, and now Orange is in a pretty bad position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this patch up now, so I can start taking tanks up. Because if Orange wants to come down to my base, he's going to have to fight through naval units and tanks at the same time, which is going to put him in a sort of difficult spot. It's very hard to fight tanks and navy all at once. I've just got some pillboxes at my base, so I'll be okay. I've got a tech centre up. I'm also going to build a gap generator. and just waiting for that gap generator to be built, and that's then going to hide some of my buildings, and we've got a bit more visibility on Orange's base. He does have some gap generators there of his own, so I think it was just a spy plane that was uncovering them. So we'll destroy that, and we're going to destroy some major buildings now. Let's see what damage we can do. The gap generator there is going to go down quite quickly, and now we'll be able to uncover part of his base. We also have cruisers, which can do quite a bit of damage, and you can see his construction yard going down. Another gap generator there. I do think he will have another construction yard near the top of the map, but we'll just try and destroy everything we can see now, and taking out all the main things. Like, you can see his tanks are held right back, and that's probably a good idea because they're going to be out of range of my naval units. So yeah, it makes it a bit harder. I'm not going to have my naval units to help there, but I'm just trying to take out the ore truck, ore refinery, and make his mining less efficient. And now we'll just pull back a little bit closer to the water, and we can see that purple are there as well. So I'm going to have to pull back because I'm not going to be able to fight purple and orange at the same time. Especially not in just a tank battle, so I'm just taking my tanks back now, and my naval units will be there to provide me with a little bit of support, because I could be in danger of them doing a dive on my base. But you can see as soon as they get in that naval fire, they seem to pull back a little bit. And you can see now purple pulling back to his base. But yeah, so coming in to help his ally there, but now he's going back, and you can see orange on the retreat. And now I'm going to start taking my naval units towards the middle of the map. So we'll start going to that. Now there's a bit of an island here, which is quite open up a bit of the map for us, so we can see what's going on.
Unit ready. Building.
And we can see red going up for an attack as well. So we'll just try and get a bit of visibility. Of course, my naval units will be able to provide a bit of support here. And you can see those tanks there from purple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these naval units just to weaken them a little bit as red makes his way up the map. And I've got satellite again now, but you can see those red units coming up, and they're going to have to fight against yellow, both yellow and purple. And now you can see orange trying to come across the map as well, but I'm going to provide a bit of support with my naval units here and just destroy some of that orange army, and hopefully red are going to be able to push back against purple there.
Unit ready.
And this fight is yeah, we can see that's it's not going too well at the moment. It looks like they've just got too many tanks. We can see orange now in the middle of the map. We can also see purple there as well. They've sort of got like a one massive combined base now, both yellow, orange and purple. It almost looks like orange started in the middle of the map. No, orange couldn't have, because we destroyed the base. They must have had an MCV and took it to this point here. I'm sure they'll have a position also in the top right of the map. But yeah, you can see us taking out this outer base of orange, destroying some of those buildings with help of our naval units. We can see red there with an attack helicopter, so I'm wondering if he took a Tanya. But now we can see those orange ore trucks are stationary, and what that tells me is there's no ore refineries at this current time. But what I'm going to need to see is what is there anything in the top right. I'm also going to be trying to take an MCV up to this top part of the map, and we can see those ore trucks are on the move now, so they've obviously found another ore refinery. So I'm going to try and take out those orange tanks, and I'm going to be moving my own MCV to the top of the map. Also, some of that ore field is in range of my cruisers, so they're going to be able to provide some support there. But yeah, my the main thing is getting this MCV up to the top. You can see it travelling there, just travels so slowly. And then, that's strange. So orange has got some of his ore trucks moving. I think he had no ore refinery for a short period of time. But now he's managed to build some more. And you can see my naval units firing on those tanks a little bit. But unfortunately, some of those ore trucks are working. So he is going to be getting some funds back into his base. And what we'll do if we can get rid of these tanks, then we can get that ore refinery down. And you can see my own MCV now getting into this part of the map. I'm just going to move it a little bit further up, and hopefully we're going to be able to take out that ore refinery there. And you can see him now moving his MCV, and yeah, I'm just having a look there. Are the ore trucks still moving? Yes, they are. So he's probably just... Oh no, they've both stopped, so I think he's lost his ore refinery once again. But now we can see that purple are starting to bring tanks on the attack. And I'm going to have to pull back here because I do have my MCV, which I want to save. Just going to deploy that and put a gap generator up. And just build some buildings. I'll build an ore refinery because I'm going to want to use that ore patch. We can also see yellow with some turrets in this part of the map. And we've got that tech centre there, so we'll take that out. So we might reduce orange's visibility. But orange now selling up. And we're just going to try and destroy as much as we can here. We'll take out his ore trucks, and hopefully that'll set him back a little bit. But you can see my construction yard is in trouble. It looks like it's going to go down. And yes, it definitely will, because I've just ran out of funds. Because I am struggling a little bit for ore. And now you can see, I'm going to have to be careful there, because those... When you've got naval units, they do like a lot of damage. But they also damage your own buildings, which obviously is a bad thing if it happens. And now we've got purple on the attack. I was starting to attack these heavy tanks. And he's trying to go for my buildings. I've just built some more buildings, so I'll still have some there, even if he does manage to destroy my ore refinery. Yeah, purple and orange going in for the attack there. And we can also see some turrets on the right side of the map. So we'll just take them out because they're like quite annoying. They'll be able to do quite a bit of damage over a period of time. And also, if we get all these buildings, rid of all these buildings from orange, it stops him building up in this part of the map. And now we can see that yellow is bringing more tanks in to that top right position. And yeah, unfortunately, we've sort of like missed those. And they're going to be hard to get rid of now because they're going to be able to have grouped together. But we're going to go for the attack. Because what I really want to do is I want to get just like total control of this right side. But what we can see is he's just got too many units. He's got a lot of tanks. He's got some base defences. He's got some rocketeers, rocket soldiers. And if I want to dive right in, I'm going to have to go right through his defences. And it's just not... I don't think it's going to work. We're trying to do our best. But yeah, you can just see there's too many rocket people in the wrong places. There's too many turrets there as well. And we are going to have to pull back to our base. And I'm just widening the game on a little bit because it was a very long game. Like, it took absolutely ages. Now we've got our MCV in the middle of the map. And we're trying to get a base a bit closer. But you can see that purple's bringing his tanks in. And that's not going to be possible. But I've got my naval units there. Purple's coming a bit closer. He's trying to get in on that MCV. But you can see I've got a wall of tanks. And I've also got a load of destroyers and a load of cruisers. Just firing on those purple tanks, and now purple having to pull back. And yeah, you can see we're still in the same situation. The only thing is now that we don't really have any stuff at our base at the bottom of the map. No ore left, so we're going to have to use the ore patches at the top of the map and just getting some turrets and base defences up here. We'll have to see what he decides to go for. He seems just trying to be pushed through at the moment, but that's not going to work. I've just got too many units, and we're going to try and keep that construction yard up if we can, and we just managed to do it, which is a hard job at the moment because we are struggling for funds. So we run out of funds there, but now we've got yellow coming in as well, and this could spell trouble. But he's only got 2 tanks, and I think we're going to possibly be okay here. But we can see him coming in from the right side as well. He's got a lot of rocket troopers, and he's got a lot of tanks near that base in the top right. We're going to have to stop these troops though, because these troops could destroy that construction yard quite quickly. And we're just going to squash them over because they're infantry, and that's what we can do. But now we can see those tanks coming in from the top right and destroyed my ore refinery, so we're going to have to go for a fight against them. And yeah, you can see them taking out my base. You can see also red's got a construction yard at the top of the map now as well. He's also bringing some tanks to the top as well, so that's going to help me a little bit. I'm just selling some buildings at home because I want to have the funds to build another ore refinery. Otherwise, it's going to take a long time for my ore trucks to travel right down to the south of the map and back up again. And you can see we've managed to whittle down those yellow army down a little bit. He's lost a lot of troops, but now we see him coming in from the right once again. I've just got an ore refinery up and just hoping I can keep it up. Just trying to build units at this point in time and just keep a base at the top of the map. And you can see red having a bit of a fight there. And now orange is going for that ore refinery. The question is, are we going to be able to keep it up? Or is it going to go down? It's looking quite close. Oh, this is gonna be very close. He's got one tank left. And I think we've just managed to save it at this point. But yeah, that was very, very close. You can see it on red HP. A couple more tank shots and it would have gone down. And now we're going to be able to repair it a little bit at least. Because we've got some funds coming in. But yeah, it's just having this, like, we're just trying to get a, like, stronghold in this part of the map where we've got some naval units. And unfortunately, while I've been defending my base, we can see that yellow has been attacking red's base. Unfortunately, he's lost his buildings on the top right. And there's not much I could have done there because, as you saw, like any units that I took away from that fight, I would have lost my ore refinery. But what we're going to do is we're going to try and go for an attack in this middle part. So this was a bit later on. We've got orange now, we've got yellow coming in as well. And we've got those red ore trucks just trying to do some mining up at the top of the map. And they'll be going back to the base. We're going to try and protect these red ore trucks if we can. Try and take out these yellow tanks. But it looks like I might be outnumbered here. And you can see those cruisers doing some great damage, getting up some great shots against those rocket troopers. So we managed to kill some of them. And one of those red ore trucks has managed to get away. But now we'll have to see. He's going to focus on my base. It looks like orange and yellow have quite a large army there. And they're coming for me. And when I say large, it's large compared to mine. If it had just been tanks battles though, I would have been wiped out a long time ago. Thankfully, I've got these naval units just giving me a helping hand whenever my base gets attacked. And we can see those yellow medium tanks coming in. And also those orange tanks as well. We've also got some base defences that are providing us a bit of support. The only thing is some of them are getting destroyed by my own naval units. And now orange starting to guard the ore patch. So I'm going to need to just come in and try and take out some of those units. You can see them going for red ore trucks again. But my naval units are in range and able to do some damage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect some of my ore trucks from the south of the map and take them up to the north to help do some mining there. And we can see that orange truck there. We'll try and take that out. We've got a bit more control of this right gem patch. The problem is with all the like fights on this patch, it really has lost a lot of its ore. And you can also see on the mini-map, there's like quite a lot of ore still in the top left of the map. So yeah, my naval units doing a bit of damage there, helping me out. And now my ore trucks are coming from the south of the map, and we're going to get them to do some work in the north. You can see those base defences as well from orange are quite annoying. It's just quite annoying that there's like two of them, and one of those ore trucks going down. And now yellow bringing in another wave of tanks. And I don't know what that was. I think I'm getting actually probably attacked by MiGs now. Because I don't have a construction yard. I can build an MCV though. We're now taking out those yellow tanks. And another wave comes in. And the thing is actually with MiGs, I don't really have anything to defend with MiGs against. Because I don't exactly have the funds to like, you know, build willy-nilly. And it does cost a lot to like build rocket troopers and also SAM sites. So now we're going against yellow again. You can see him bringing in some the medium tanks. And we'll just try to take out that stronghold he has over this part of the map. Red's still doing his long distance mining. And you can see this ore patch is running quite bare right at the moment. Which is obviously bad news for us. But we're managing to destroy some of those yellow tanks. He might be struggling with economy himself. And hopefully we're going to be able to take those yellow tanks down and go back to the top of the map. And now some troops coming in and firing on my medium tanks.
Unit lost.
And I've got another MCV out now, so I am going to be able to build structures. But you can like see my funds are all like gone.
New
I
construction
don't have much at all. Yeah, and you can see that our truck looks like it was in trouble. Those yellow troopers doing a little bit of damage. And those troopers getting killed by those naval units. And what we'll do is we'll just try and squash these in the top of that ore patch. But you can see that ore really running low at the moment.
Building.
And yeah, a bit of a war of attrition. But you can see some of the ore patches are starting to grow back now. So we are getting a little bit more ore. The only thing is I have to be careful not to like overextend. And now yellow coming in with those 4 medium tanks. And it looks like they're going to go for that ore truck. And that ore truck may well go down. I'm not too worried about it though, because yeah, I do have more trucks down there. And now you can see us taking out these tanks. It looks like they're going to get that ore truck though eventually, and it does go down. But we managed to take out quite a few tanks with that last attack they did. And I'm just bringing some more ore trucks from the bottom of the map. And now you can see that yellow coming from the left side of the map this time. And now they're bringing that in a load of medium tanks. And this time it looks like my tank forces have been destroyed now. And now they're going into my buildings. I've only got a couple of ore refineries left. This ore refinery looks like it's almost going to go... Well, we're just going to about save it. I mean, it wasn't actually close in the end, but it did look like it was going to go down. But you can just see how important it is having that Navy support. They just do so much damage to any tanks coming in. And it has really helped me in this game. If that had just been a land attack there, that ore refinery would have gone. But now you can see that yellow's coming from the other direction once again. And they've got like tanks again, they've got infantry units. But they're going to be taken out, no problem. Yeah, you can see that. And you can see in the end of the day, it's not the tanks that get my century, it's the MiGs. But as I say, I just don't have the funds. I'm like getting constant attacks at this side of the map. We've got like purple using MiGs, we've got orange sending attacks in as well. And there's just only so much you can build, and sometimes you just don't have the funds to defend. And that was exactly the case here. I could build a gap generator, but if I went into SAM sites and stuff, I'd have like nothing to well, AAs anyway, because I'm playing as the Allies. But if I'd gone for AA sites or rocket troopers, I just wouldn't have anything to defend with. And you can see purple at the bottom of the map now doing an attack on my main base and sending in. He's destroyed my MCV and he's sending in troopers as well. And now they're going for my radar dome. They've managed to take out my tech centre. But yeah, I just don't have much funds at the moment. Selling some of my base defences on that passage because we haven't really been getting any attacks from that place anymore. But now you can see my radar dome going down as well now. And yeah, we're pretty much... it looks like we're going to be out of it shortly. The key thing was trying to get established in the north of the map, but it seems like that's gone a bit out the window now.
Insufficient funds.
And yeah, I'm just managing to build an MCV, but you can see I've got not much HP at all. And that top ore patch, I've got a few tanks there, but now I need the funds in order to build a ore refinery. Because I don't have any ore refineries left. So we're going to sell some of these units down here, get rid of some of the... I've got some excess power plants that I don't need. Just sell some of these defensive buildings as well.
On hold. Building.
And we're just going to wait for that to build. You can see I just need the funds at the moment. But we can see these yellow tanks coming in. And it looks like it's going to be an end of my base in the top of the map, because I think that gap generator is going to be taken out. And it looks like those base defences are going to go down here as well. And there's just, unfortunately, there's only so much my naval units can do. They can't take out the whole army when you've got a big army like that. And I've lost my top map. And unfortunately that... Yeah, you can just see those those purple tanks coming in now. And yeah, again, his tanks are there. They can see where my buildings are. They're going to be able to bring the MiGs in. I don't really have anything to defend with. So unfortunately this game really now is over, and it has been for a little while now. I think the big thing here, I know the top teams conserve the ore a bit better. They have a lot of ore in the top left of the map. The thing about that, though, is if you do conserve your ore too much, then you do run the risk of being destroyed at the start. Like, if all our teams did an effective attack right at the start, I think we would have probably got them. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So yeah, is a bit of that. It's just like using it. And I think around the 15-minute mark was when we started to really suffer, losing ore at the bottom of the map. I know in the bottom left ore patch was used up quite early on, and then we were all using the same ore patch. It did get used up, and eventually it was done. And maybe we could have used our ore trucks a bit more efficiently and a bit more conservatively. But yeah, I did need a lot of ore as well. You could see I was struggling for quite a lot of the game because I got attacked twice at the start. So if I hadn't had the funds in order to fund the tanks and stuff like that, then I could have been in real trouble then. But yeah, that was that game. It didn't go in our way in the end, and this was just the end result. Those orange tanks coming in, all 3 teams from the top managed to survive that game. And the stats were like quite crazy actually when you have a look at the amount of unit kills. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video.